This is the Atom editor with Codeon activated. It's a sidebar with all the functions and information on it. Let's make a request first. There are two ways to make a request. You can either select some content here and then click this help button right below the selection. Or you can click ask for help with the same functionality. Now suppose I have this task where I have to write a function to convert the numerical values to alphabetic value. And I want to save some time by asking the helper to write an array that has all the alphabetical value from 0 to 10. So I can click this button on the top of the sidebar, and then I have to give my request a name for later reference. So I can type generate an array for numbers. Once I click this start recording button, I need to verbally describe my request, and at the same time I can add keystroke activities such as content selection, cursor movement, even content modification. All these activities will be captured while recording, and they will be sent along with your audio request to helpers on the other side. Let's start recording. Can you write an array here with each element value being 0 to 9 in alphabet? Thank you. And you can click down to finish your request. The system will upload your request audio and your keystroke activities to the server where helpers are watching. Once the uploading is done, you'll get a notification from Atom Editor. On the top right corner says request posted, as you just saw. And also Atom will generate a beeping sound, as you just heard. In addition, you'll see the new request has been posted on the Codeon side panel. Also, the line number that's associated with this request location has changed color for better referencing. This color is matching the edge of its associated request on the sidebar here. Different requests will have a unique color, as you will see later. For each request, you will have the basic information listed on this list. For instance, you can replay your audio to remind you of the request by clicking this button. Can you write an array here with each element value? All the requests you have made are listed here on this side panel. Now let's make another request. Let's take a look at task 2 here. So it asks me to debug this code over here, and I have no idea what the current code is doing. You may notice that there is a note writing here says you can run this code with this hotkey command plus letter I. Let's do that. Okay, so it prints out the output of this script, which is an array with the number 3, and the desired output is supposed to be 0, 1, and 2. And I still don't know what to do. I may search on Google for this task, but I don't know how to start. Or I can make another request to ask helpers to find a solution. So I'm just gonna select the content over here and then use another way to make a request. So I can click this help button and then name my request being debugging. And I'm gonna say something to help helpers to understand my situation. So hey, so I'm supposed to get 012, but this doesn't really work. Can you help me to debug this? And you can directly send me the code if that's possible. Thank you. And as you can see here, you have a request posted notification shows over here, and you have a line number change color over here, which has a different color, and that matches this color over here. And keep in mind that helper is also able to run the code on his side, but your editors are not shared. Now let's take a look at each request in detail. You can click each request to see helpers' responses and comments if they have one. Or you can write comments to each request. To help you better understand how Codeon works, I'm going to show you helper's user interface as well. This is helper user interface, where they can see all the requests that you have made with the related information. Let's click 1 to see the details. One quick note is that as helper opens one request, Codeon plugin will display that information as well. Helper is able to see your request by clicking play request button over here. To help helpers to understand my situation. Hey, so I'm supposed to get 012, but this doesn't really work. Can you help me to debug this? And you can directly send me the code if that's possible. And they can add comments as well. As you can see here, this is the comment that the request made about 50 minutes ago, and then they can respond. And then once they click submit, a requester will see notifications as well. And they can click into this request and see the new comment. Helpers can scroll down to write their answers in details. There are 3 ways that helper can generate his response. They can write explanation, they can write code in this editor, or they can add annotations by clicking this button. For the purpose of demo, I'll write a combination of all 3 formats, but helpers can choose whichever format they want to use. Click this text box. I can write explanation. And you can directly code inline in this editor, which is a copy-paste version from the request. And I can add annotation here. And all the annotation will be shown up here for helpers to better reference their annotations added so far. And they can run their code by clicking this run button. Now it says the output is 012, which is the desired output. Helpers can send the answers to requester, and on both ends there will be a notification to indicate the response has been made. Now if we go back to the requester side, we can see that the status and font color has changed to notify requesters that there is a new response for this debugging request. Once click into it, we'll see that Atom automatically splits another editor on the right hand side, which is helper's code. And you can also see that the explanation has been written here in this answer section. You can also click this highlighted line of code and to see the comments. You can run helper's code by using the hotkey again. Now you can see helper give you the right output over here. Also click code diff button here to check the text difference between your code and helper's code. The line with the green background means that the line is added by helper, and the line with the red means deletion by helper. This legend information is written in this icon next to answer title. You can always go back to helper's code by clicking this button, and the legend information is auto written here. If you are satisfied with the helper's code, you can click merge button to merge helper's code to your code. And now you can run your code by using the same shortcut to see the output. Now as you can see here, the output is desired. And you can click accept button over here to notify that this answer is accepted. And the status also changed on your side. And if you go back to the request, you can see that this request is in green color, which indicates that it's been resolved. You can close helper's code without saving it. And if you go back to helper side, they will see this status change pretty well.